Shalom, welcome back to the Deep Dive series. This is part 2 of our series on the Idra Zuta, the Lesser Assembly. In part 1, we entered the room. We saw Rabbi Shimon on his final day, arranging his affairs before departing from the world. We saw the house filled with friends, and then we saw the fire return around the house. We saw Rabbi Aba appointed to write, Rabbi Elazar appointed to receive, and the rest of the companions told to hold the words in their hearts. That was the doorway. Now, in part 2, the teaching itself begins. And Rabbi Shimon begins exactly where he has to begin, with Atika Kadisha, the Holy Ancient One. This is important because Idra Zuta is not merely repeating Idra Rabba, it is sealing it. Idra Rabba was the great revelation on the threshing floor. Many voices spoke. The companions participated. Some revealed sections, some trembled, and 3 of them died from the intensity of the light. But here, in Idra Zuta, Rabbi Shimon says something different. In the Idra Rabba, all the friends were speaking, and I was among them. Now, I alone will speak, and upper and lower beings will listen to my words. So the atmosphere is completely different. Idra Rabba was the assembly of revelation. Idra Zuta is the final seal. It is one voice, one lamb, one soul standing between this world and the world to come. And the first thing that comes out of that final voice is the mystery of the Ancient One. Rabbi Shimon opens with the verse from Song of Songs. I am my beloved's, and his desire is toward me. This is not romantic poetry in the ordinary sense. It is the language of final union. Rabbi Shimon is saying, all the days I was connected to this world. I was bound to the Holy One with one bond, one knot, one attachment. And now, because I have lived that attachment, his desire is toward me. That means the divine is not distant from Rabbi Shimon at the hour of death. The divine is leaning toward him. The holy camp is leaning toward him. The righteous of Gan Eden are present. The Shekinah is present. The concealed worlds are listening. And then he begins to praise Atika Kadisha. He says, Atika is separated and divided, yet not divided. It is apart from everything, yet everything cleaves to it, and it cleaves to everything. It is everything. That sentence is the key to this whole episode. Atika Kadisha is beyond all worlds, but it is not absent from the worlds. It is hidden, but not disconnected. It is removed, but not remote. It is beyond form, and yet every form receives life from it. It is the concealed root that holds every branch. And then Rabbi Shimon gives one of the deepest descriptions in the Idra Zuta. He says, the most ancient among the ancient, the most concealed among the concealed, was established and not established, established and not established. That sounds like a contradiction. But in Kabbalah, contradiction often means we are touching a level too high for ordinary language. Atika is established because it sustains everything. It gives order. It becomes the root from which the lights, the sephirot, the worlds, the names, and the faces can emerge. Without Atika, nothing below can stand. But Atika is also not established because from its own side it cannot be grasped. It has no form that the mind can hold. Its arrangements do not reveal its essence. You can receive from it, but you cannot define it. You can be sustained by it, but you cannot capture it. This is why the Zohar calls it the unknown head. It is a head because everything begins there. It is unknown because no created consciousness can enter it directly. And this is where Rabbi Shimon gives the image of the 9 lights. When Atika is established, it produces 9 lights. These lights shine from it, glow from it, and spread in every direction. They are like lights streaming from a candle. The image is simple, but the teaching is enormous. When you look at a candle in a dark room, you see the flame, and you see the light filling the room. But the light does not have an independent existence. It is not separate from the flame. Move the flame, and the light moves with it. Cover the flame, and the light disappears. The light fills space, but its life is in the candle. So it is with Atika Kadisha. The 9 lights are revealed. They spread. They can be spoken of. They can be contemplated. They become the holy name. But they are not separate beings. They are not independent powers. They exist only because Atika shines through them. This protects the deepest monotheism of the Zohar. Kabbalah speaks about many names, many lights, many faces, many sephirot, many worlds. But all of that is not many gods. It is not division in the divine. It is the one candle expressing itself through many rays. The rays are real, but they are not separate from the flame. That is why Rabbi Shimon says, for that reason, it is all one. Now we need to understand the 9 lights more carefully. The Zohar identifies them with the 9 Sephirot that emerge from Arich Anpin, Keter, Hokmah, Binah, Hesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. But the point is not only a list. The point is that even the highest structures are still only garments of the unknown root. They are ways the infinite becomes receivable. Think of it this way. The sun is too bright to look at directly, so its light comes through atmosphere, cloud, water, reflection, color, warmth. You do not grasp the sun itself, but you receive its effects. You feel heat, you see light, you watch things grow. Atika is even more hidden than that. It is not just hidden because it is far away. It is hidden because it is too essential, too root, too before. It is the place where all beginnings begin before beginning can even be called beginning. Then Rabbi Shimon says something very personal. He says, this is not the time for certain matters, because he already spoke about them in the Holy Idra. But now he sees what he did not know so clearly before, what until now was hidden in his heart. That line is stunning. Even Rabbi Shimon, after Idra Rabbah, after the cave, after the revelations, after all his years as the Holy Lamb, says that only now, on the day of his departure, does he see something more clearly. This means the final day is not only an ending, it is a new level of sight. Death for the Tzaddik is not darkness closing in, it is a veil thinning. It is the last concealment loosening. Things that were hidden in the heart become speakable. Mysteries that were carried silently can finally be released. And then the Idra Zuta moves from the 9 lights into the skull of Atika. The Zohar calls it the skull of the white head. White, in this language, means pure hesed, pure mercy, no mixture of harshness, no red of judgment overpowering it, no shadow in the root. This white skull has no beginning and no ending. Not because it is vague, but because it is beyond measurement. Beginning and ending belong to created things. The skull of Atika is the crown above all beginnings. It is the container of the most hidden wisdom, but the container itself has no age the mind can find. From this white head comes a joint flow of light, and from it the righteous inherit 400 desirable worlds in the world to come. 400 is not just a number for quantity. It suggests vastness, completion, expansion in every direction. It is the inheritance of those who cleave to life while still living in this world. And then Rabbi Shimon returns to one of the most beautiful images from the Idra Rabbah, the dew. From the white skull, dew drips every day to Zeir Anpin, the place called heaven, and with this dew, the dead will be resurrected in the time to come. This is not only future theology, it is a map of how life is sustained right now. The dew descends from Atika into Zeir Anpin. From Zeir Anpin, it flows to the field of holy apple trees, which is Malkuth, the Shekinah. And the whole field radiates from that dew. So the flow is clear. Concealed root, revealed heaven, receiving field, life below. Atika gives, Zeir Anpin receives and transmits. Malkuth becomes radiant. The lower worlds are nourished. And this explains why resurrection is connected to dew. Rain comes loudly. Dew comes silently. Rain falls from clouds. Dew appears quietly in the night, almost mysteriously, as if the world has been touched by hidden moisture from above. That is the kind of life Atika gives. Not always dramatic, not always visible, but constant, quiet, faithful. It appears on the field before anyone wakes up. It prepares life before the eye notices. This is also how hidden mercy works in a person's life. Sometimes you are waiting for thunder, but the rescue comes as dew, quiet strength, a subtle softening, a door that opens gently, a thought that stabilizes you, a small mercy that keeps you alive one more day. That is the dew of Atika moving through the worlds. And that is why this teaching matters for prayer. When you pray, you are not trying to convince a distant power to notice you. You are trying to align the lower vessel with a light that is already flowing from the root. The candle is already shining. The dew is already descending. The question is whether the field is turned upward enough to receive it. So, the work is not panic. The work is alignment, kavanah, quiet return, letting the many lights lead you back to the one flame, letting the spoken names lead you back to the name beyond speech. letting the visible structure teach you trust in the concealed source. This is the difference between studying Kabbalah as information and entering it as a living ladder for the soul. That ladder begins in holy stillness. Finally, Rabbi Shimon speaks of the concealed brain within that skull. Supernal Chokmah is hidden there. It is called the supernal brain, the covered brain, the subdued and quiet brain. None can comprehend it except itself. This is a very important phrase, subdued and quiet. The highest wisdom is not noisy. It does not shout. It does not need to prove itself. It rests in itself. It is calm because it lacks nothing. It is quiet because it is before speech. It is concealed because any word would already be too late. Lower wisdom explains. Higher wisdom illuminates. The concealed brain does not argue. It simply is. And this brings us back to Rabbi Shimon himself. On his final day, surrounded by fire, righteous souls, companions, and the Shekinah, he is not panicking. He is not clinging. He is revealing from a place of extraordinary calm. His soul is imitating the concealed brain, quiet, subdued, attached, ready. That is the practical teaching of this episode. The deeper you go, the quieter you become. The closer you come to the root, the less you need to force. Real holiness does not always increase noise. Sometimes it increases stillness. Sometimes the sign that you are receiving from above is not emotional drama, but clean inner silence. Atika is established and not established, revealed through lights, but hidden in essence. Like a candle, it sends out rays, yet remains one. Like a white skull, it contains mercy without beginning or end. Like dew, it sustains the worlds quietly. Like a concealed brain, it holds wisdom in perfect stillness. And Rabbi Shimon, on the day of his passing, is not merely teaching this. He is becoming transparent to it. That is why Idra Zuta is so powerful. It is not just information about Atika Kadisha. It is Atika Kadisha shining through the final words of a Tzaddik who is about to leave the world. In the next part, we will continue deeper into the head of Atika, especially the forehead, the eyes, and the way mercy begins to become visible through the face of the Ancient One. May the dew of the white skull descend quietly into every dry place within us. And may the hidden light of Atika teach us how to become still enough to receive. I will see you in part 3. Shalom.